Well, hello there, everyone. It's Liam Caddleson here. And it's time for me to react to me. This is my reaction to my predictions of the F1 2025 season. It is that time of year again, and yeah, for a few years now, I've been doing this where I would have casted my predictions for the upcoming F1 season in like February, mainly after pre-season testing. And then by the end of the year, I will react to what I've predicted. So, yeah. Last year, I was impressed with myself. I think I got 1/4 of my predictions right. I'm not expecting that. I'm expecting a goose egg. If I get 2 predictions right, then I will call that a success. But I have been dreading this. So, yeah. With the fact that this is a 30-odd minute video, which I need to rectify for next year, which I know I won't because I know what I'm like. We're going to get right into it. Of course, I will not be counting Colapinto because he wasn't officially a driver. I know he was the Alpine driver for the majority, and I kind of expected him to come about, but nothing was official yet, so it was just rumors, and rumors can be, obviously, true or false. Obviously. So, yeah, he wasn't part of the official starting lineup, so, yeah. So, with that said, let's brace ourselves for pain. This is my reaction to me predicting the F1 2025 season.
In last place is Gabriel Bortoleto.
Who did I get?
That Sauber ain't doing anything. I think they.
I mean, Bortoleto's 19th
for 2020 for the Sauber team, and considering Bortoleto's teammate is Hulkenberg, who I put in 19th.
Oh no!
Again, I think
To be fair, that podium at Silverstone, we finally got a Hulkenberg podium. That podium at Silverstone really gave him a massive. I mean, it didn't mean that he, hardly scored or whatever for the rest of the season, but still, even so, I mean, that is a massive boost, isn't it, in terms of points? Still. Far off, because he came 11th.
Now, in 18th is...
No, barely got a couple of races in.
We know that there is this whole shebang about only lasting a few races.
Which he did.
At least
Alpine be Alpine.
That seems to be what he's contracted to before they bring in Franco Colapinto. Obviously,
and he didn't even do great, Colapinto.
Sargent last year, he was
same number as points as doing.
In 17th, we got
so close! Tsunoda!
Oh, there's
how is he 7th?
Him, right?
Yeah, Stroll was 16th.
Look, I might have a bit of another bold prediction here, but this will be Lance's final season.
No, definitely.
How much more are you willing to put your son through?
Yeah, exactly. And he's still going to see in Brazil, 2026.
That was just humiliating.
I mean, he scored a good chunk of points, but still. Way off from Alonso.
Good luck. So, yeah. In 16th, we've got the new Isaac Hadjar.
Oh, no. Again, podium, really. And to be fair, I think if he hadn't gotten that podium, he probably would have been around the 16th, 15th. I mean, Stroll and Tsunoda were tied for 16th and 17th, with them both scoring 33 points. And I wasn't expecting Hadjar to get a podium this season. But still, he's been impressive, has Hadjar. Very, very impressive.
I know I kind of did Yuki a little bit dirty last year in terms of thinking that Daniel Ricciardo is going to, be what...
And what's funny is Tsunoda still finished behind Hadjar and Lawson, even though he spent the majority of the season in the Red Bull.
But, yeah. In 15th, we've got Ollie, the bear.
No! I got Ocon in 15th! No, 15th is Ocon, where he finished in the championship.
11th. Where So yeah, he did pretty great. But I have learned not to underestimate Haas this year because
I need to know where I put Ocon.
Prediction videos.
Because again, right mindset, but wrong driver.
I thought that, yeah. In 14th, we've got Yuki Tsunoda.
I wasn't far off.
Racing Bull.
I wasn't expecting Yuki to get maybe middle of the season. He would have gotten the Red Bull drive. But 2 races in, and they were like, yeah, Lawson, we don't want him in the Red Bull seat. Underestimating how ruthless Helmut Marko is. Yeah. It's a shame he's gone then, isn't it, Helmut Marko? It is funny how Lawson did end up finishing 14th in the actual standings. Who replaced Yuki when they decided to promote Yuki or demote, whatever your mindset is at, to the Red Bull seat. So it's kind of funny how that worked out, really. So I can't say I would have been right, but I guess the slot that was filled in by Lawson did end up finishing 14th, so can I get a half point there? No.
13th? I've got Fernando Alonso. Yeah, ambitious, because that Aston Martin looks terrible. And we know
it did, but yeah, Alonso dragged the car to
just fall off completely
10th
when it comes to especially the latter part of the
season. I got him as 13th.
But they have Newey.
It
now.
looked bad.
I know, obviously. I've got Esteban Ocon.
Okay, I had a feeling I had been 12.
And how blessed must he feel?
Okay.
Free from the chains.
Well, he did decent.
The Alpine. In 11th, we got
no
Williams. Look pretty neat.
Albon finished,
and when it comes to
in the World Championship,
sorting out,
wasn't expecting
10,
Williams to be at the 5th fastest car.
11th is with that Williams,
8th
and considering
9th.
These last few years have
Albon
been a bit
and Sainz
iffy for them. I feel like this is going to be a bit of an optimistic start to, 2000.
They got a couple of podiums, or at least Sainz did, and yeah, he finished behind Albon. But Sainz just had a torrid start to the season, so that might have been indicative to why despite 2 podiums for Sainz, he still finished in 9th, 9 points behind Albon.
In 10th, I've got Gasly. Now, with Alpine,
he finished 18th in the World Championship.
There are positive vibes with the test and all of that.
Positive vibes. Gasly, they were on more hopium than we were.
When it came to wild races, and Gasly's a phenomenal driver. If there's going to be someone who's going to score a lot of points when it comes to Alpine, it's going to be Gasly.
Well, yeah. In fact, he was the only driver for that team to score points.
So in 9th, we've got...
I got one right! I got one right!
Charles were great teammates.
I'm blessed!
They were really, really great.
Thank you, Carlos!
At times. 2025, with 2 strong drivers, rather than one who is lackluster and Albon picking...
And they were both strong, 8th and 9th.
Team, if anything. Now, I think that Sainz is going to definitely get the better of Ace this, so that's who I've got in P9. It's the top 8 for the Drivers' Championship.
This is where it gets interesting.
So who's in 8th?
Lawson.
I've got Liam Lawson.
Yeah.
Who, of course,
I wasn't expecting him to do miracles against Max, but then again, I wasn't expecting him to only do 2 races.
Let's not confuse this by saying, well, why did we replace... Perez, if that is definitely going to be the case for Lawson.
What's funny is, again, Yuki did worse than Perez. Yuki did a lot worse. I mean, Yuki's a decentish driver, but that Red Bull seat, that second Red Bull seat is a war against humanity. So you don't want to put that. A lot of people joke about the fact that you get demoted to Red Bull, not promoted, demoted, because that car is a curse. So hopefully with the new regulations, they would have sorted that out, because I don't want my boy Hajar to absolutely drown.
Some are saying it's the 3rd best car
I mean, they were the second best car. I'd say the first half of the season they were the third. They were fighting for the third best car with Mercedes.
In seventh, we've got Kimi Antonelli.
I did it all right. I got 2. I'm happy. I'm happy.
For Mercedes,
I'm happy. Thanks, Kimi.
Of course,
I'll take that.
For, Lewis Hamilton, who of course joined Ferrari. Again, and I have, put him as a potential winner for this season. Because I think the kids...
potential maybe could have been, but no.
Kimi has a lot of talent.
And nearly beat Lewis in the championship.
Amazing when it comes to showing.
But we'll get onto that in a moment because that Ferrari.
Toto picked him.
You're all ready for it.
He was picked for a reason, and he's going to showcase that. In 6, I've got George Russell.
No.
Again, let's see how the Mercedes go. Because
George was on it this season with that Mercedes.
When it comes to Lawson in 8th, someone's got to fill in that 6th position, and I don't really have too much confidence.
Looking forward
Mercedes
to this.
Yeah, I mean, they could surprise us, and they could not just excel in the cold, but
I know. I'm sure. I've surely got the rest of the predictions
they
wrong.
will not, be nowhere at certain weekends, and then up the front at other weekends, because that was the problem. In 5th, we've got Oscar Piastri.
This is the downfall.
Now, this is where I was struggling again, when it comes to. I was struggling with positions. Again, it's a long calendar. There might be races where McLaren might be the second fastest car.
Which they were, Red Bull.
I sound like I'm repeating myself when it comes to Russell and Lawson, but
because there were some races. Despite this disastrous sight, Piastri 5th, and I know he finished 3rd, and some people are like, it's not too bad, considering Charles Leclerc was 5th in the standings, and he was nearly 200 points off Piastri when everything was said and done. That's a big gap. But I was right at certain points that, McLaren might be the second best car at some races, which they, were. Versus Red Bull, or versus Max, because, I know people joke Verstappen racing because he was the only one bringing the points, really, and, well...
It's not like there's going to be a big gap between the top 4 and then 5th. It's just going to be...
Wait, how many points was George ahead of... Because I said the top 4 and 5th. George Russell had 319 points. Charles Leclerc had 242 points. I mean, to be fair, Piastri was nearly 100 points ahead of Russell. So, what did I say? The top 4, they're not gonna have a big gap between themselves and 5th.
4th, Lewis Hamilton.
No, Lewis did appalling. Lewis did appalling.
I know there's a lot of people who think that Charles is going to get humbled or whatever.
They could not be,
7-time world.
Yeah, they were way off.
I'm really too sure about where the Ferrari might be ultimately, but again, as well, there is some unknowns about it. I know.
Oh, there were unknowns, Liam.
I don't know. I've seen a few comments saying he looks a lot happier than he has been in the last few years. I agree with that.
Oh no. That aged severely like milk. If the milk was already off, just imagine it 10 times worse. Especially some of his post-quali interviews when he got knocked out of Q1 and he just sounded absolutely done. I've never seen Lewis more depressed than he had been in, especially, Qatar?
Now, in 3rd, here we go. And I'm going to leave the top 2 anonymous. I'm including a little soundbite.
I know what this is going to be as well.
Because we're getting into the top 3 of the championship now. And
who did I get in third?
It's gonna be. This is where
get on with it.
Get on. People might be like, "What the hell is wrong with you?"
I wouldn't be surprised
because I've gone for Max Verstappen in third. There, I've said it. He is not winning.
He finished second.
We know what Max is like, and he's going to continue to drive the way he does, and he's going to try and. I mean, we know
and then some.
Especially with last year, he was definitely not happy with certain directions with the car. And
spoiler alert, he still wasn't. I felt like every radio we had of Max, it was like him complaining about the car was not working or whatever, and yet he was just, sometimes driving it to pole.
With the top 3 in mind. But when all is said and done, it might just be like 1 point off second. So, yeah.
Wait. Well, 1 point off second. I mean, he was 2 points off the top step.
I thought long and hard about this. To the point where I wasn't even sure if, like, putting Max third was right.
No,
in my head.
It wasn't.
It's a brilliant championship battle, but the championship can only be won by home run. Charles Leclerc, for the first time ever, is champion.
I know. Like, there are going to be some people who are going to be like, what did you expect? Of course he's going to put Charles there and all of that. There are going to be some people like, what the hell is wrong with you? The McLaren
I wouldn't be surprised, people.
Car, all of that. He got his win. He did get his win. And, you know, they've extended that to he's bought the championship and all of that. So...
This just gets worse as the time goes on, right? I think early on people, like especially when Oscar was running away with it, like people were like, yep, Norris has bottled it, and then how the turntables, right?
And I do feel like Ferrari might have a little bit more something, you know, between pre-season testing and Australia, I think they might have something. My head is saying...
Yeah, they have something. It's called the worst car in my entire life cycle I have ever seen from Ferrari that they've produced. Worse than the SF1000. And I said that for a long chunk of the season. And you know what? If people want to call me delusional, fair enough. But it was atrocious at times. And I was not as depressed. Like, at least with... And here I go. I'm ranting. At least with 2020, we kind of had an excuse because of the legal engine. Yeah. Or the legal fuel, wasn't it? But still. And there had to be some provisions put in place in terms of some kind of agreement. Whatever. So at least we kind of had an excuse. We were fighting McLaren for the constructors in 2024. We weren't even bloody close this season. We didn't even... How many wins did we have in 2024? 5. I think it was 5. 2 from Sainz, 3 from Charles. How many wins did we have in 2025? Yeah, none. The car was just that dreadful. We had no excuse. And the reason is, we changed, 99% of the car's philosophy because we maxed out on development on 2024's car. That's why we changed completely. And I should have known. It was either going to be hit or miss. But I decided to bet on red and I got black instead.
Just prepared for the prospect that by December 2025, I'm going to look back on this video and be like, Liam, you shouldn't have caved and put Leclerc as world champion. Wouldn't necessarily.
Liam, you shouldn't have caved and put Charles as world champion. Not by a long shot. And another thing I'm going to rant as well. John Elkann is a piece of shit. Get him out. I know he can't be booted out, but he needs to have some awareness and leave. How dare he put this on the drivers that they should shut up and do more driving? It's not Charles and Lewis. Like, they didn't build a bad car. They are only doing as much as they can with faulty equipment. But it's the driver's fault because John Elkann can shove it where the sun doesn't shine. And can I just say as well, I love the idea that all corners of the F1 globe came together and ganged up on this piece of shit because he was that up his own rear. He was that egotistical to think, well, everyone else has done a good job, but the drivers should shut up and do more driving. Everyone ganged up on him and said, yeah, the car is abysmal.
This, by the end of this year, I that would be the case, and putting Leclerc first instead of Norris was a bit of a mistake. But
a bit.
Isn't that the fun of predictions, though? Right?
No, not in December.
So in 10th, I don't think I need to say anything. In 9th, I've got Racing Bulls.
Nope.
Not giving me a lot of confidence. In 8th and just 8th, I've got Aston Martin.
Nope.
In 7th, I've got Alpine. In
nope.
6th, I've got Haas.
Nope.
In 5th, I've got Williams.
Yep.
4th, Mercedes.
Nope.
3rd, Red Bull.
Yep.
2nd, McLaren. 1st, Ferrari. I'm going for the double.
Yeah. Well, that was appalling. I got two right on each. Both drivers and teams in terms of where I placed them. So I said I would be happy if I got 2 drivers in the predictions. I'm even going to be a little cheeky and be like, I got 2.5 because I got Yuki's position right. Well, no, when I predicted Yuki, Lawson replaced him. So that is kind of right, but it's not because, yeah, I didn't know that Lawson would be feel the wrath of Helmut Marko for 2 races in. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. I knew what was coming when it came, because I was like, I put Leclerc first. I know that. I was so hopeful that the Ferrari, you can't go as bad as, like, 2024, again, constructors. They were so close. 5 wins. I mean, yeah, you've changed 99% of the car, but surely you can't drown that bad, right? Oh, Liam. Again, I think it's just the idea that we were fighting the constructors in 2024. And then we were... We were drowning terribly this season. And the thing is, with next year's predictions, it's going to be interesting because I don't think I've made a prediction. Like, I've been doing these for a couple of years now. But considering the regulations are going to change drastically, it's going to be very interesting to see where things are going to go. And it's one that I'll have to heavily analyze pre-season testing for, because whilst I know that is not always going to be indicative to where drivers will finish and all of that, you want to kind of get a feel, especially when it comes to the new regulations, because especially before they do unveil their cars, you're hearing a lot of rumors about, oh, Mercedes might be the fastest car, or Ferrari might drown. But then there's sometimes conflicting reports, and I'm just like, I don't know what to believe. So I'm just gonna wait. But that's rumors for you, isn't it? In terms of, you don't know, like, you can't exactly take them with full on authenticity. It's like with me putting Doohan in this, like, I kind of had a feeling Colapinto was going to replace him just due to the rumors, but that's not a guarantee in itself. So, but again, the toxic workplace of Alpine is probably indicative to the fact that, well, it most likely was going to happen. I'll be surprised that I did get at least 2 for both drivers and the teams, and I'll just, yeah, Because I thought I was going to get a full-on goose egg coming into this. Because I was like, I know I didn't put Lando as champion. I didn't know where... I was hoping Max was second in my predictions because I didn't know where I put him. But I knew I didn't put Lando as champion because I put Leclerc as champion. I knew that in my head. And I'm like... Ugh. Yeah. It's like when a character dies or you know, has a fatal injury. And then the episode ends. And then... the next episode is spent on them fully dying. You're just waiting for that moment, and then it hurts when they do pass on. Cough the Originals, I think. Episode 18 of Season 3. Cough, cough. Not in a tear-jerking way that, you know, with this video, but it hurts knowing that I had full hopium about Leclerc winning the championship, and they didn't even win. Like I said, the closest was the sprint, and no one counts that. Maybe 2026 would be better. I'll see you guys next time. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Yeah, you can check my videos on the right if you want to check out more of my content. You can also subscribe to my media feeds channel if you want to. Hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. Hope you guys take care, and I'll see you guys next time. Toodles!